outset, I thank Almighty and my parents for this wonderful day. My sincere thanks to Father Arun and our Chief Speaker, Sharmaji, and Father, Dean, faculty, management, my colleagues, my family members, friends, and all the students here. As Father Arun mentioned, of course, we are going through the crisis, which I would call it as supply chain disruptions. But Father Arun, as I always, while we were talking, Father was asking, Arun is very energetic, and I told him his energy will go for another 15-20 years. He's a very dynamic person. I know the amount of efforts he takes to bring up this institution as one of the best institutions in India, and I'm sure his dream will come true. And students are always fortunate to study in LIBA. Because as I always say, what I am today, it is because of Jesuit priests and Jesuit institutions. And of course, I have become a businessman because of LIBA. If I had not studied LIBA, probably I would have been a professor or a government officer somewhere. It transformed me, thanks to Dr. Bashir, who brought me into shipping. He was here. So it was quite accidental that I got into shipping, and then I started my own organization. And now I ended up with an endowment lecture with the great assistance of Father Arun. I am always thankful to you, Father. Every year, see, I try to, because, in India, I have been pioneer in many of the concepts in logistics. For example, when free trade zone started, warehousing started, nobody was aware what is free trade zone warehousing. I had to take up this concept wherever possible in all the gatherings and meetings and seminars. I was talking about this free trade zone warehousing. Today, after 10 years, it has become one of the most sought after vertical in India. Similarly, even the container freight station concept, air freight concept, and so many other concepts. Likewise, I thought the younger generations will have to understand how important this supply chain, we call it as logistics, the end-to-end solutions, how it makes the difference in everybody's life. That is why we decided to have this, endowment lecture and calling such experts to share their knowledge and wisdom, which they have gone through more than 2 decades. And I am sure Sharmaji will give you a lot of information which will be useful and also fruitful. Dear friends, lucky person is one who finds his opportunity. Brilliant is one who creates his opportunity. Winner is one who wins his opportunity. Today, India stands in a position to have positive an effective global position. And IMF has very clearly indicated India is the growth engine of this globe. In other words, global growth engine. That's why our Prime Minister clearly mentioned in one of his speeches, India is the largest producer of milk today. India is the largest one in medicines and also vaccinations. India is the largest consumer mobile data. India is the second largest manufacturer of mobile. And India has got the largest payment platform, UPI. And above all, India is among 3 places in terms with regard to aviation and also renewable energy. In the last 5 years, I have seen both central government and state government have given so much of importance to logistics. I have seen many new industries are coming into India. You would have seen semiconductors, electronics industry, pharmaceutical industry, renewable industry, and solar and so on. This makes India a very vibrant, competitive, and a resilient business hub, I would say a manufacturing hub. We should all be proud of India, the way in which we are growing. Why? What I have seen, and you're also seeing, is that there has been a consistent effort to have structural reforms. You would have seen tax reforms, regulatory reforms, labor reforms, finance and trade and investment reforms. And these reforms are becoming so good that it makes the ease of doing in India very much. And also you see that, I said, enhanced ease of doing. I know so many ministries have been combined to offer a single window clearances. Since I traveled to Delhi for many projects, what I had seen 2-3 decades back, what I'm seeing today, there's a tremendous change. Not only change in the system, also change in the mindset. And I also recently have seen there is innovation and entrepreneurship encouragement. India is the 3rd largest in the world to have maximum startup ecosystems. It is said in India we have 620,000 startups, and every day 136 startups are getting registered. And why we are growing fast, as our Prime Minister has said, we are now in the 4th place in terms of size of the economy in the world. In 2027, we will move into the 3rd place. And he also says 2047, India will become a country because of this innovation, startups, MSMEs, and also other manufacturing industries which are coming into India. So naturally, we also see positive indicators of economy. As I said, you would have read, India has been maintaining 7% GDP growth. And India has the highest domestic demand. And India has invited huge investments into various areas. All these are happening in the last 5 years. There is a great momentum because I started this logistics in the most conventional period, and I have seen the medieval period. What I am seeing is the most advanced and digital period. That's why I can authentically confirm India is now on a right direction without believing the speed. But then there is always problems and challenges. As Father Arun said, this West Asian war could have a tremendous impact in supply chain disruptions. In terms of route disruptions, cost escalations, and of course, it could create a lot of other challenges for us. I was reading one small sharing today, how people are sensitive about it, we have to check. There was a farmer and he was living very happily. There was in that house, there was a rat, also a hen, and of course a goat. They were all there. And the rat was all the time giving trouble. And farmer and his wife decided that we have to get the rat catcher to kill this rat. And they bought one and they kept it. Suddenly one night, there was a big noise, and farmer's wife came out and saw, instead of rat, a snake was caught inside. So while she was trying to remove the snake, she was bitten. She was immediately rushed to the hospital, and then she was having a lot of fever and so on. People around her, they said, because why I have to tell, when the rat catcher was kept in the house to catch the rat went and complained to the hen and also this goat that I'm going to be caught. For that, the hen answered, in no way I'm connected. It's beyond my reach. And goat said, why are you threatening me? I'm not bothered. That's why the rat was feeling very bad that the rat was going to be killed. But what happened now? She was bitten by the snake, rushed to the hospital. She was having a very high fever. And the people around her told that she needs very good chicken soup. So the chicken at home was killed. The chicken soup was given. And after some time, the wife got recovered. The farmer was so happy, he had to call all his relatives to celebrate. So he killed the goat and gave mutton biryani. And then he felt, because of this the rat catcher, my wife got into problem, and he threw it away. And finally, the rat was saved. Most of the time, we people feel that problem comes to a neighbor or to our friends, it is not concerned to us. We are not sensitive about it. And when rat complained, if all of them, they have taken a decision that we will stand by and we will ensure the safety of the rat, all of them would have been saved. This is what's happening now when I said there is an overall disturbance in the global economy. As Indians, now we need to be very sensitive, and also we need to become more flexible and anticipating so many other aspects and results in the near future. Dear friends, that's why I say that I always think the power of love should be greater in the world than love of power. Then we could see the peace. And what is today, and you may not be knowing, Since I am in logistics, I could see there are 45,000 ships are held up in the Straits of Hormuz. I am not threatening, but things have to be sorted out at the earliest opportunity, because today everybody has started realizing how important this supply chain. Everywhere there is a problem, and then now supply chain will have to come in to ensure that how well the entire supplies could be maintained. That is why I say that the solutions to this is multi-modal transportation. This is where I come in, how supply chain and logistics have become so important in current scenario, maybe in the future. That is why government is trying to encourage. I'm so happy that the logistics costs have been brought down below 10, which was around 13%. And it is going to help everyone in the future. So this multi-modal transportation is nothing but comprehensive logistics solutions. We are all thinking that logistics is something related to transport, something related to warehouse. It's not like that. It is encompassing the railways, roads, ocean, aviation, warehousing. That's where we thought that we should start working out on this logistics as an independent university. Thanks to Father Joe Arun, a few years back when we suggested, then we have to have the diploma course because nobody is knowing about it. Some universities, some colleges are teaching diplomas. But today logistics has got a different meaning, different areas of applications. Including you have AI, robotics, and also technology advancement. So naturally, when we discussed, we bring in the diploma course in LIBA. Accordingly, the course is going really well. We are trying, myself and Rajan, Babu, we are trying to work out how well this could be trimmed. So in the last 4 or 5 years with the team, with my guidance, they are all working on how comprehensively this logistics concepts can be put together for the understanding of the students. Because they say in another 5 years' time, we require almost 10 million jobs in this area. So naturally, we need to produce more and more skilled logisticians in this country, for which we need a structured syllabus and also a curriculum. In this connection only, Mr. Rajan Babu and his team, with my guidance, they have worked on these books. We have just started. Another 6 to 8 books are in the pipeline. I have given them very clear idea. That is, with all my experience, this industry can offer more than 8 jobs. And all the jobs are very lucrative. And these jobs have to be supported by minimum 16 subjects, for which we need to write books and make it more. There are some articles and so on, and in a small way some books. But that is not the way. What I thought way forward, we need the structured way of teaching, for which we need books. So accordingly, we have done these 2 books. And so when you have a job in transportation, when you say transportation today changed, we have refrigerated transportation, we have a heavy lift transportations. As there are different types of transportations. When you talk about warehousing, it is not a glorified warehousing. Today we talk about warehousing with the WMS, warehousing with the distribution. They talk about procurement centers. They talk about free trade zone centers and so on with the SEZ facilities. It was not there before. So we cannot talk only about warehousing. Same way customs, procedures, regulatory matters have completely changed. And they are all digitalized. So it has to be taught in a different passion. And then now you have e-commerce, you all know about it. Then the infrastructures, container freight stations and other infrastructural divisions which are developing within logistics. So my vision is this course has to be designed according to the jobs which are there in the market. Thereby, This has to be designed in such a manner we have 50% of theoretical orientation and 50% of practical orientation. And when the students finish this course, they have to be directly employed. Today we are employing, even now they have recruited some 7 or 8 MBA students. My HR department, they have employed. Every year we are employing. But then when they tell me, when they interview, they are not, as father said, not much knowing about the logistics and so on. Then again, we have to put in each and every, there are 8 verticals, including project impulse, which is becoming huge. So all these verticals, we have to put them and train them. It takes almost 1.5 to 2 years to make them to understand or to give them a comprehensive understanding of logistics. This is where now we are working out with LIBA. In future, we have to come out with the logistics independent university, which has to offer a very solid, this bachelor's course and also MBA course based on the jobs available in the market. And my idea is also to combine humanities with this. When I say humanities, a logistician has to be a marketing person. A logistician has to be a HR person. A logistician has to be a finance person, accounts person, and logistician has to be a statistician. There are so many things are there. So we need a marketing person who understands the logistics, because when I go for a big RFQ, I need a finance guy who has studied logistics with finance, so that is, because today RFQ running into pages, that itself is a separate research. Because we are competing with a lot of huge international companies, so comprehensiveness is required. So naturally, we need to teach the finance in a detailed way. So when you talk about this holistic view of logistics, then today logistics has taught as an independent subject, as a warehousing or CHA activities and so on. I need to combine the humanities to make it human. This is what my vision is, which I have been talking in some of the forums. Where it is not there, then only it will become a realistic kind of a graduation course. Then these students are definitely, it's a global employment. These books will go globally. The reason being, logistics is not a national subject. It is a global. Recently, one of the boys who studied in our St. Britto's Logistics College came in and met me, even I think yesterday, and he was so happy. He's employed in one of the companies in Malaysia, in a project company. He's so happy. So this course, for me, has to offer global employment placement. This will definitely happen in a couple of years, and so we have taken the initiative, and thanks Mr. Rajan Babu once again for all your efforts, and you have taken our guidance, and I have given him another so I made him to work on. Dr. Bhaskaran is here with his experience, and other people are here, and I also have practical people to give inputs, and so another 7-8 books have to be written to bring it into a kind of an idea where we want to go in for the future to create very effective logisticians for this country. And finally, as I always say, that God has given us a fingerprint, but what is more important in life is that we have to make an imprint, and such legacies of creating something new. And as I have been doing for the 4 decades, I'm more than 4 to 5 important concepts which I was able to offer based on my creative thinking and based on the international working, my experience. I said, this is how this country has to go forward in order to be competitive. If you want to serve multinational manufacturing companies in India, the logisticians have to be fully equipped in order to ensure that these companies are given proper supply chain services. Please live your life as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Life is learning, and I continue to learn in logistics. There are so many things are coming up in this field. Thankful to the government, that they are encouraging with so many schemes. For first ever time, they have brought in logistics policies and so many warehousing policies. This I had not seen 5 years back. So thanks to the government that they have started recognizing this area so much, because they understand logistics is the backbone of trade, commerce and industry. Thank you very much.